Okay.
Okay.
I think can switch off.
My apologies, gentlemen.
No worries.
Okay. I'm supposed to videotape this actually. So that's why let's start.
Yeah.
Off dulu.
5 minutes already.
Belum lagi.
Belum lagi.
Okay.
So, Toastmasters Club Shah. First of all, I would like to thank all of you, especially Mr. Mano, for allowing me to make this presentation, which is not related at all to Toastmasters. Actually, this presentation is part of my assignment for a law degree at UiTM. And we were supposed to videotape this, so I thought rather than videotaping it in an empty room, why not make a presentation in front of a live audience? And there's nothing better audience than the Toastmasters Club of Shah. Because I know if I make a mistake, you guys are not going to give me a hard time. The only thing is, Sakura will have to bake me more cake. So with that, I would like to begin my presentation. First of all, let me introduce myself, because some of you may have known me. My name is Ahmad Salim Razi. I am the general manager of this club actually. Last year, if you recall, you forced me to speak on a table topic. and the title was, Age is just a number. So today, I'm going to prove to you again that age is just a number, because at the age of 59, I am embarking of a new journey, trying to add to my degree in chemical engineering with a degree in law at UiTM. I'm now in my second semester, so inshallah, God willing, maybe in 5 years' time, I will graduate as a lawyer. Somebody asked me, what would you like to do after you graduated? I said, by the time I graduated, that is the age of retirement for judges. But then, some people say, never mind, it is never too late. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin my presentation. This presentation is actually done in a group. There are 2 more gentlemen in my group, but unfortunately they are not here tonight. And the title of my presentation is Water Resources in Malaysia, the Sustainability and Quality Issues. Yeah, I think water is very important, so we chose this topic. I'm going to skip some of this because yesterday when I timed my presentation, it took me 15 minutes when the lecturer only gave me 8 minutes. So I'm going to skip some of this. As you all know, water is life. Without water, there is no life. Water has very simple chemical formula of H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. And if you can recall, the first thing that those astronauts who landed on Mars did was actually to test for water. Because if they can find water in Mars, that means there is a likelihood of life to be sustained in that planet. So that is the importance of water. My presentation today is going to address some of the issues, especially regarding our water conservation and also the sources of our raw water. Those 2 are very important. We look at 2 approaches. Number 1 is to conserve clean water. Number 1. The number 2, secondly, is to ensure there is a continuous source of raw water. Yeah, because you only get clean water if you have the source of raw water. Every drop of water counts, because water is a very important commodity. As such, it is important that clean water be used properly and economically. Yeah, and unfortunately in Malaysia, as it is today, water conservation awareness is very, very low. How many of you brush your teeth while the tap is still on? Many of us. How many of you would water your plant at 5 o'clock out of habit when there was already rainfall at 3 o'clock? It's out of habit because we are not so aware of the water conservation and how important that drop of water is. So this is what is lacking in Malaysia from what we have researched. And the majority of our raw water in Malaysia come from rivers, However, most of our rivers unfortunately are very, very polluted. Yeah, I can show you later some of the example of river pollution in Malaysia. Now, what is the methodology that we come across, the finding or the recommendation that we did? The methodology is actually from articles, opinion, writing from researchers, published in credible magazine and also newspapers, mainly in New Straits Times. So that is our source of finding for this project. Now, our finding, you all know, 2/3 of the world is actually water. Yeah, 2/3 of the world is actually water. But about 750 million of the people's population still does not have clean treated water. And it is also true for Malaysia. Certain remote areas in Malaysia, especially in Sabah and Sarawak and some part of the peninsula, still do not have clean treated water brought to their home. Yeah, this is true in Malaysia. And why are this? Number one, we have enough rainfall, but the geographical distribution of the water is very unbalanced. Meaning to say here, as an example, how many of you here are from Taiping? Taiping has the highest rainfall in the country. And if you are from Jelebu Negeri Sembilan, that is the lowest and the driest. However, the water that fall in Taiping cannot be used in Jelebu. So that is what I meant by geographical imbalance. The other one is timing. You come to October, November, and December, 1/3 of the country is flooded. But when it comes to July, August, September, we have water rationing because of drought. So the timing of our waterfall. So that is the challenges in Malaysia in order for us to have sustainable water. The second thing is human behavior and lack of awareness in water conservation. I have given you 2 examples just now. We brush our teeth when the tap is running. We water the plant even though half an hour before that the rain fell. It is our habit. So our awareness is rather lacking. Yeah? And the third one is of course pollution and contamination of our water. Once the raw water is polluted, it cannot be used to be treated into clean water before pre-treatment is done. Okay? Now, here it is. This is not a Photoshop photograph. This is an actual river in Malaysia. And you can see how polluted it is. And I can guarantee you, every debris that you see here has a human touch. Meaning to say that they have been touched by a human but dumped into the river. This is our river. And compare that to here. These are 2 rivers in New Zealand. So it is apparent that the 8 million sheep in New Zealand has better discipline when it comes to throwing rubbish than we Malaysians. These are their rivers. Yeah? So that is the challenge that we have in Malaysia. Pollution in our water. And the other sources of pollution is of course industrial activities, ground leakages. The whole country is wired by underground pipes, petrol pipes, and ocean dumping of rubbish. These are some of the sources of, or rather causes of pollution in the country. And if you look at the water treatment process, we have the water pond, the water catchment area, it will go to the river, it will go to water treatment plant, eventually it comes to our houses. If there are pollution here, it will eventually reach our tap, because water treatment cannot get rid of the pollutants 100%. There will be remnant of pollutions. Now, what are the impact of water pollution? I think you all know. If you drink dirty water, you probably get cholera, you probably get hepatitis, you can get all sorts of illnesses, and in the long run, you may also even get cancer. As the heavy metal, mercury, lead, arsenic, you drink it, it will get accumulated in your body. And over time, those will cause serious sicknesses, including the big C. Yeah? This is what happens if we are sick. Our hospital will be burdened, our health costs will go up. Now, what are the solutions? Where do we go from here? Number one, we must educate and create awareness on water conservation and use water prudently and economically. Each of us has a role to educate our young not to waste water, you know. Number two, the country has what they call National Water Resources Management and National Water Resources Policy. This policy look into water catchment area. If it is implemented truly, there will not be jungles and uncontrolled logging, because those are important catchment areas. There will not be more concrete jungle at the expense of true jungles, because the true jungles are our catchment area. But we keep on creating concrete jungle at the expense of our water catchment area, which is important to sustain supply of water. Now, we say implement very simple initiative of providing dustbin into people living along riverbank. If you go to Kuching, the river, is it Rajang River? It is relatively clean. It is relatively clean. I think the government has done quite a good job in educating the people who stay along the river on the awareness not to pollute the river. Okay? Enforce all regulatory mechanism. We have the Environmental Quality Act. This particular act will take care about the industries who are polluting our water. We have the rules, we have the regulations. Okay? Now, as you know, industries is also one of the big culprit in water pollution. Business owners sometimes put profit ahead of the environment and the welfare of the people. They just discharge the effluent water into the drain without proper treatment to save costs. So you must implement this in order we have cleaner water. Now, as far as the water quality is concerned, to make sure that every drop that comes into the tap is safe for consumption, we have actually this water quality, National Water Quality Standard and the Water Quality Index. It is already there in the system. It is only a matter of implementation. Strengthen the law. This goes without saying, yeah? Strengthen the law, regulatory act and government status on water industry. One of the biggest weaknesses in this country is enforcement of laws. We have all the laws in the world. You have all the regulation that you need. However, when it comes to implementation, we are very lacking. And ladies and gentlemen, a law which is not imposed is actually not a law. A law which is not imposed is actually just a mere suggestion. I suggest you do this. That's all you can do. If you don't enforce the law, I want you to stop at the traffic light. If it is red, if you don't enforce it, it is just a mere suggestion only. It is a mere suggestion. So we have to do this. Right? And then, what we have discovered also, there are many overlapping and inconsistent standards. There are many overlapping regulations, standard indexes, and rules. So this is confusing the people who are imposing the law. So it is incumbent upon the policymaker get rid of some of these overlapping standards, smoothen all the rough edges so that the implementers and the policymakers can enforce the rules and regulation more efficiently for the benefit of the country. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, these are our conclusion. The sustainability of water resources cannot be taken for granted. We cannot just say, this is not my responsibility, this is the responsibility of the government. It is not. It is the responsibility of all of us. Pollution are generally man-made. Pollution doesn't come from the sky. It is man who throw rubbish into the river. Pollution are man-made. So we need to enforce the law. We need to continuously monitor the activities that is causing pollution by the authorities. The game plan is very, very simple. Awareness and enforcement of the laws. That's the game plan. Alright? And if we don't, water pollution will remain unresolved for the next 100 or 200 years. There will be no water for the next generation. We cannot assume that the drop of water that we have today coming out of our tap will remain there or will still exist in 200 years time for our great-great-grandchildren if we do not do some of this. Because doing nothing is not an option. Ladies and gentlemen, so that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be happy to answer one or two questions if the question is not too tough. Remember, this is just an assignment for a simple law degree. Yes, any question?
One question.
Yes, sir.
How is this assignment related to law program that you are
Okay, this is actually assignment for English language. Okay, during the first and second semester, they teach you the technical part of English, so that when you read cases, you know this is the main topic, this is the supporting documents and those kind of things. And I think for oral presentation, you really want to, they probably want to evaluate before whether you can speak in front of judges or not. So this is part actually of English language, the first semester and second semester. The third semester, English is no longer a subject. That is the relation with the law degree. English language.
Smart lah, your banking on your forte.
Yes, tak ada question. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your